Football is full of miracles. But in the 2021-22 UEFA Champions League, Real Madrid turned miracles into a habit. Against all odds, against Paris Saint-Germain's superstars, against Chelsea, the defending champions, against Manchester City's unstoppable machine, and finally against Liverpool, they found a way every single time. This is the story of one of the greatest Champions League journeys ever told, and this is how it began. The 2021-22 UEFA Champions League started with excitement, pressure and high expectations across Europe. Clubs strengthened their squads, legends returned and new stars were ready to rise. Paris Saint-Germain had assembled a super team with Lionel Messi, Neymar and Kylian Mbappé. Manchester City, under Pep Guardiola, looked unstoppable and desperate for their second Champions League trophy. Chelsea, the defending champions, aimed to prove they were no one-season wonder. And Liverpool, led by Jurgen Klopp, came in hungry, chasing revenge, reclaiming the crown they lifted in 2019 and had one of the deadliest attacks in Europe with Salah, Mané and Diaz, a rematch of the 2018 final. Real Madrid entered the tournament under Carlo Ancelotti, a coach who already knew what it meant to conquer Europe. But compared to the giants around them, Madrid were seen by many as underdogs. Cristiano Ronaldo was gone, the squad was aging, and critics doubted if they still had the magic to rule Europe again. Ancelotti had little time. Expectations at Real Madrid are always sky high. Critics questioned if he was the right choice. Could he rebuild a squad that many considered too old? And above all, could he do it quickly enough? What no one knew, however, was that this team, led by the veteran brilliance of Luka Modrić, the rising star Vinicius Jr., the giant wall Thibaut Courtois, and above all, the relentless Karim Benzema, was about to write history. Real Madrid's campaign began in Group D, alongside Inter Milan, Shakhtar Donetsk, and the outsiders Sheriff Tiraspol. At first, everything seemed normal. They beat Inter away thanks to a late goal from Rodrygo. They crushed Shakhtar 5-0 in Ukraine, with Karim Benzema and Vinicius Jr. shining brightly. But football loves surprises. At the Santiago Bernabeu, the unthinkable happened. Sheriff Tiraspol, a team few had ever heard of, defeated Real Madrid 2-1. A shockwave hit Europe. Were Madrid really strong enough to go far? The answer came quickly. Madrid bounced back, defeating Sheriff in Moldova, beating Shakhtar again, and finishing the group with 15 points. The early scare was forgotten, but no one could predict what was coming next. The round of 16 brought a clash of titans. Real Madrid against Paris Saint-Germain, Messi, Neymar, Mbappé, a frontline built to destroy Europe. Many thought this would be the end of Madrid's journey. In Paris, PSG dominated. Lionel Messi missed a penalty, but Kylian Mbappé, the future of world football, stepped up. In the 94th minute, he scored a brilliant solo goal, gliding past defenders and beating Courtois. PSG won 1-0, and Madrid looked vulnerable. The second leg at the Bernabeu was even worse. Mbappé struck again in the first half, making it 2-0 on aggregate. The Bernabeu fell silent. Madrid needed 3 goals in 45 minutes. Against PSG's superstars, it seemed impossible. And then destiny turned. In the 61st minute, a mistake from Donnarumma gave Vinicius the ball, who quickly passed it to Benzema. Then Benzema slotted the ball into the net without any delay. The stadium roared back to life. Just minutes later, Luka Modrić carried the ball through the midfield and launched a precise through pass to Vinicius. The young star controlled it and tried to burst forward, but PSG's defenders closed him down. Thinking fast, he passed it back to Modrić, who immediately spotted Benzema onside. With a perfectly measured pass, Benzema received the ball and with calm precision slotted it into the back of the net without a moment's hesitation. Benzema scored again, 2-1 on the night, 2-2 on aggregate. PSG was stunned. Seconds after the restart, Madrid pressed high. Rodrygo picked up the ball and delivered a precise through pass to Vinicius. Vinicius controlled it, but PSG defender Marquinhos stepped in to block the attack. What he didn't see was Benzema lurking behind the penalty area. With one perfectly timed touch, Benzema slotted the ball past Donnarumma and into the net. The French striker had completed his hat-trick. 3 goals in just 17 minutes. The Bernabeu erupted. Real Madrid 3, PSG 1, aggregate 3-2. Paris Saint-Germain were eliminated. Karim Benzema had dragged Madrid from the brink of elimination to the quarter-finals. The first miracle was complete. Next, the champions, Chelsea. The defending champions awaited in the quarter-final, strong, organised and confident after winning the Champions League in 2021. But Karim Benzema was unstoppable. At Stamford Bridge, he produced one of the greatest individual performances in UCL history. A perfect hat-trick, a header in minute 22, another header in minute 25, and a right-footed strike after a mistake by Chelsea's goalkeeper Mendy. Chelsea were shocked. They only scored 1 goal by Havertz in the 41st minute. Real Madrid 3, Chelsea 1. The tie seemed over. But in Madrid, Chelsea fought like champions. Mason Mount scored early in the 15th minute. Antonio Rudiger added another with a towering header in the 51st. Then Timo Werner made it 3-0 in minute 76. Suddenly, Chelsea led 4-3 on aggregate. With just minutes left, Real Madrid were out, and they needed a miracle to win. Chelsea did a great comeback, but only until 80th minute, when Luka Modrić, the magician, delivered one of the most iconic assists in football history. With the outside of his right foot, he curled a ball over Chelsea's defence into the path of Rodrygo. One-touch volley, goal. The Bernabeu erupted again. The match went to extra time, and in the 96th minute, Vinicius Jr. sprinted down the left, crossed to Benzema, and the Frenchman headed home his 4th goal of the tie. Real Madrid 5, Chelsea 4 on aggregate. The champions had been dethroned. Madrid had survived another miracle, another night at the Bernabeu. Then came Manchester City, perhaps the strongest team in Europe, led by Pep Guardiola. Fast, technical, ruthless. The first leg at the Etihad was chaos, a 7-goal thriller. De Bruyne scored in the 2nd minute, Gabriel Jesus in the 11th. Benzema responded with a one-touch volley in the 33rd. Then in the second half, Foden added the 3rd goal for Man City. 2 minutes later, Vinicius scored the 2nd for Madrid. In the 74th minute, Bernardo Silva hitted the 4th for Man City, and in the 82nd, Benzema scored his 2nd goal from penalty spot and the 3rd for Real Madrid. City won 4-3, but Madrid was still alive thanks to Benzema, who scored twice, including a cheeky Panenka penalty. The second leg in Madrid was a battle of nerves, a night called the Bernabeu Miracle. The Bernabeu had seen miracles before, but this time it felt impossible. City controlled the game, and in the 73rd minute, Riyad Mahrez silenced the Bernabeu with a powerful strike. 1-0 on the night, 5-3 on aggregate. With just minutes left, City fans were already dreaming of the final. With just minutes remaining, it looked like City were heading to their 2nd consecutive UCL final. But then, Real Madrid did what Real Madrid always does in the Champions League. In the 90th minute, a hopeful cross from Benzema found Rodrygo, who flicked the ball past Edison to give Madrid a glimmer of hope. The crowd erupted, but there was no time to celebrate. They still needed one more. Just seconds later, Dani Carvajal whipped in another cross, Marco Asensio flicked it on, and Rodrygo rose between 2 defenders to head it into the net. The Bernabeu went absolutely insane. 2 goals in 2 minutes. The Bernabeu exploded into chaos. 2-1 on the night. 5-5 on aggregate. The match went to extra time. In the 95th minute, Ruben Dias clumsily brought down Benzema in the box. There was no doubt what would happen next. Benzema, he stepped up, calm as ever, took a deep breath and rolled the penalty past Edison. Real Madrid 3, Manchester City 1. Aggregate 6-5, Madrid had done it again. They said it was over. They said City were too strong. But they forgot one thing. In the Champions League, under the lights of the Bernabeu, Real Madrid never dies. Then came the final, Liverpool versus Real Madrid. Picture yourself as Liverpool in that season. They were chasing immortality, the chance to win all 4 major trophies in a single campaign. The EFL Cup and FA Cup were already theirs, both clinched in nail-biting penalty shootouts. But just days before the Champions League final, their dreams of a Premier League title slipped away by a single point, cruelly decided on the dramatic final day in favour of Manchester City. All that remained was the biggest prize of them all, the Champions League. Liverpool arrived in Paris, hungry, driven, and desperate to crown their season with glory. Yet standing across from them was Real Madrid, a team that had already defied logic with one of the most extraordinary Champions League journeys ever seen. For Liverpool, the stakes were even more personal. Memories of Kiev 2018 still lingered. The night they lost the Champions League final to the very same opponent. 4 years later, fate had brought them face to face with Real Madrid once again. From the first whistle, Liverpool dominated. Shot after shot rained down on Courtois. The first arrived in the 16th minute. Alexander-Arnold collected a pass from Henderson, slipped into space, and whipped a dangerous cross to Salah. The Egyptian went for a clever flick toward goal. It looked destined to go in, but Courtois was there to deny him. Salah curled, Mané fired, but time and time again, Thibaut Courtois stood tall. His saves kept Madrid alive. Then in the 59th minute, the moment arrived. Federico Valverde burst down the right and whipped a low cross into the box. Vinicius Jr. ghosted in behind Alexander-Arnold and tapped the ball into the net. 1-0 Real Madrid. Liverpool pushed with everything. Salah tested Courtois again and again, but the Belgian goalkeeper was unbeatable. That night, Courtois shattered records and Liverpool's hopes. He produced 9 crucial saves in the final, a performance for the ages. Finally, the whistle blew. Real Madrid 1, Liverpool 0. The Kings of Europe had done it again, their 14th UCL title. A campaign of miracles crowned with glory. From the shock defeat to Sheriff, to Benzema's hat-trick against PSG, to Modric's magic versus Chelsea, to Rodrygo's miracle against Manchester City, and finally Vinicius's winner in Paris, the journey was unforgettable. Carlo Ancelotti became the first manager to win 4 Champions League titles. Karim Benzema played the season of his life, writing his name among the greatest strikers in history. Courtois delivered a final that goalkeepers will be judged against for generations. And Vinicius Jr. announced himself to the world. This was not luck, this was Real Madrid. Eternal, unstoppable, and champions of Europe.